Hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Space Quest 6. Last time, we found out a little bit about our kidnappers, at least one of them, but his file was sealed. All we got was a name, Nigel Rancid. Anyway, the commander has ordered us here to Sharpay's room, whoever this weird woman is, and we gotta clean it. Hello.
The wrinkled one rests quietly in her crapomatic adjustable bed.
Crapomatic, okay.
The hydro-riser piston gleams proudly, truly up to the task of propping up the most expansive of dermally housed humanoids.
Alright.
Ah, the door which allowed you into this room.
Wait.
No, ma'am. I'll...
Ah.
Oh, she just said something and I accidentally skipped over it.
Hey, don't put your mouth on that.
Ah.
The doormat sucks you absolutely clean of any kind of debris, virus, bacteria, lawyer, or transient product manager which may have become attached to your person. Pretty cool, eh?
I guess so.
A contaminated waste items receptacle stands awaiting contaminated waste items. It looks like a heart monitor. It must be amazingly sensitive since this crusty old beast appears rather heartless. It looks like an empty specimen jar. Maybe later, if you find some free time, you could give it a fill. Keeps the techs guessing.
I wonder how many lines Gary Owens had to record.
I guess even the ill-rich must have some extravagances. Where's the cyber poodle? Oh, well, they're making them too well now anyway. You just can't seem to kick them hard enough.
Mr. Wilco, I asked you to mop the floors. Do I have to get Commander Kilbasa in here to get you to do your job?
No, ma'am. I'll get right on it, ma'am.
I think that's just to remind you of what you need to do in case you forgot.
You as a janitor would only have a clue as to what was contained in those bottles if the content showing through them resembled some sort of waste product or cleaning supply. A clean towel dutifully hangs, awaiting its next use. Things are stored in there, probably. It's incredibly common. It's a cabinet containing old Sharpay's drugs.
Anyway.
Ah, a bucket. One of the staples of any janitor's arsenal. You've seen plenty of these babies in your lifetime. That's a joke can. The old-timers use it to fake the new interns into thinking they have sucking chest wounds. It's a real hoot.
But Roger must have some talent, because I suck at mopping. He,
Like you need another one of these.
If he has a talent for it, then good for him. Remember one of my first jobs, I literally had two managers, like, on separate nights when we'd be closing, there would be like two different managers, one for each night, and they would both...
Mr. Wilco, please rattle the handle on that commode. It is positively maddening.
Yeah, they would both yell at me, like, one would yell at me to do it one way, the other would...
I mean, right away, ma'am. Whatever I can do.
The other would yell at me to do it another way.
Please do it. And quietly. I must have my rest.
But yeah, it pissed me off. Alright. That was a great story, Gamesmith. Good for you. What did she just do?
Mr. Wilco, it is time for me to take my meds. Please, fetch my trisonic sortium from the medicine cabinet.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I guess...
Maybe I can get this old hag to overdose.
What was that, janitor?
Nothing, ma'am. I'll get those for you right away. I can't find her medicine. I don't think she knows what she's talking about.
What the?
Hey, what the...
While we await a fully formed thought from Roger, it should be mentioned that there seems to be some sort of gas entering the room through the left vent.
Hey, there seems to be some sort of gas entering the room through the left vent. I seem to be in a world of deep... Ah, jeez, the door!
Wait, what? Why did she do that? Won't she die too?
She seems to be resting rather peacefully.
Ma'am?
As fulfilling as a conversation with Sharpay might be, you can't talk to her in her current state.
What is she doing? Why is she doing this? Oh, we need to get out of here quick.
Rats, it won't budge. I've got to get out of here somehow. No windows. The walls are solid bulkhead. And I'm too big to flush myself out of here. This is the only way. What would MacGyver do now?
Oh my god.
You are visually unimpressed.
Oh, come on.
What can be said that isn't painfully obvious?
We might as well, sit around and await our doom. Or we can maybe...
That's not going to help. Move it, man. That's not going to help. Move it, man.
Move it, man. That sounds like a superhero.
Don't touch that. We don't know where you've been.
We're still dying.
You summon the ability to leave it alone.
We clog this
That's
up.
delightfully non-helpful.
Oh boy. I'm actually not sure if you can die at this part, if you'll just keep coughing. I don't know. Oh well, it's probably not going to be that exciting anyway, so let's see about this thing.
You give the piston a yank, and sure enough, it comes loose in your hands. Perhaps it was your raw strength. More than likely, it was defective.
Alright, let's take a look at this.
It's the Crap-O-Matic adjustable piston.
Alright. We're going to use that on the door. Or just die. We can die. Okay.
And you thought the fumes from lactose intolerance were bad.
Oh, come on. So yeah, this comes on. So let's grab this thing.
You give the piston...
Yeah. Come on. Alright. Piston in there.
Good thinking! Wedged in the door, the manual override control causes the piston to strain against the door. It pushes a few inches and seems to strain at that point.
Oh, hello.
Wilco!
Oh, hi, Stellar. What are you doing here?
Come on, dude.
There's no time to talk, Roger. We've got to get out of here now.
How did you know I was in trouble?
1, 2, 3.
Stellar. Oh no. Oh no.
Just as you crash to the floor of the turbo shaft, the hydro riser piston gives way, and the door slams shut, with Stellar still trapped inside. You claw and pull at the seams of the bulkhead door, but to no avail. Just then, you hear and feel an explosion, which seems to have come from behind the door. The door is sealed tight. You can hear no other noise after the ear ringing from the blast subsides.
My God. I can't believe this. It can't be happening. She was... I was... Stellar!
Calm down there, Marlon Brando. Oh no.
It's hard to believe that this is the Hollow Suite. The setting is much like the graphics you have scanned in the library from those planets more interesting in their climatic diversity. From the scenic jutting peaks, soft hills, and lake in the conjured distance to the lush, pixelized growth of trees, flowers, and grass in the foreground, the holodeck has that sublime park-like perfection. Unfortunately, its serene beauty is sadly negated by the headstones and the solemn event about to occur, the laying to rest of your rescuer and true friend, Stellar Santiago. You are feeling as you have never felt before, perhaps helped along by the relatively short stints aboard the various ships, as well as all too brief friendships. You've been spared the emotional devastation of true loss by lack of attachment. This, however, is a different feeling, far different from anything you've ever experienced. You can't help but wonder how you'd act towards Stellar given a second chance, but you know that can never happen. She gave her life for you, and you will never be able to thank her. Enough smarm already. Let's funeral!
Oh, come on.
Ladies and/or gentlemen, we assemble here today to honor the memory of a former crewmate, Lieutenant First Class Stella Santiago. Her unfortunate death takes place in the shadow of a new community, the dawning of a new life for the aged of our galaxy. Although death is never easy to accept, we must remember that the tragic accident which took her from our midst occurred while she was on duty. If a member of StarCon must perish for some reason, there is no more honorable way. It is part of the oath we recite and take to heart when we pledge our allegiance. I believe her friend, Janitor Second Class Roger Wilco, has a few words he'd like to say. Mr. Wilco?
Wait, this is Janitor Second Class? How low are we? Anyway, we have a eulogy here.
I only knew Stellar for a short time. I wish I, could have gotten to know her much better. To have had a deeper understanding of this, person I was proud to have called friend. Of my friend, I can only say this. Of all the souls I have encountered in my cleaning, hers were the most scuff-resistant.
Aww. Come on. Wrath of Khan reference right there. Love it. Oh, I get it. This is a fake graveyard and she was put out to space. Aww. Now I want to watch Star Trek Wrath of Khan. Such a good movie. And so, Stella is no more. That's fine. We still have our destiny with Beatrice Wankmeister, as it should be, right? Alright. Let's see, to transport, let's just get back to our room. Looks like our thing's blinking here.
Looks like you have a message waiting for you.
Indeed.
Wow, a message for me. I must be getting popular.
Alright.
I wonder what it is.
Roger, help me. I only have a moment. They faked.
Stellar, what happened? The picture's gone. You're alive?
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. She didn't die? Well, that, changes things now, doesn't it? Oh, actually, I want to, need to go report this. Is that a kitty bed that he's on? I think I just realized that.
That's Commander Kielbasa, dummy.
Commander Kilbasa, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I've just received a distress message on my compost. And it was from Stellar.
Wilco, have you been whiffing cleaning fluid again?
Again?
I'm absolutely as sane as I've ever been. She's being held on Delta Berxilon by Sharpay.
Wilco, do you realize how irrational that sounds? We buried Stellar. You were there. Maybe you need a rest. Take a couple of hours off.
Sir.
Wilco, we have our orders from StarCon and we'll be carrying them out. Drop it, Janitor. Leave the bridge now, Wilco. I've made my decision.
Well, okay then. Looks like we are on our own. As usual. So, let's take a look. Database, entity database. Let's do some research here. Let's go to known races. And let's see, we want to look up... Oh, there's a bunch of stuff we can look up. I actually want to... I'm gonna go through it. Andromedan Decapus. Extinct sea Coronian tentacular slime sucker. Okay. Andromedans. These repugnant creatures are known for their mohawk dews and their well-developed prehensile snouts, with which they can pick up small objects, give themselves neck rubs, and unleash projectile mucosa at enemies. Is it like that guy that was just wandering around here right now and was at the funeral? Is it that guy? Oh no, it's one of these guys. The most famous Andromedans are the two guys who rose above their humble Andromedan beginnings to become two of the most popular and successful game designers in the galaxy. They were once kidnapped and pressed into servitude by the notorious Scumsoft Corporation, but were later rescued by an unidentified worker. Most Andromedans prefer flavored foreign coffees such as hazelnut, mocha mistake, and vanilla cottage cheese. Okay.
That wouldn't prove full.
Okay, thank you. What are big dealers? Primary civilization of the planet Mega Big Deal. In the Sector B subcluster C, Coronian killer mammal. Bicranial crud snorter. Imagine a crud snorter only with a bifurcated cranium. Bicranial crud snorters are limber simian creatures with frontal lobes the size of Telosian binary cassabas. One would assume this makes them smarter than the average simian. One would be very wrong. Bicranial crud snorters prove the old adage that is not how big your brain is what you do with it. Just like their monocranial cousins, they spend most of their time snorting crud and then hacking it out again in an extended coughing fits that often lasts up to 12 hours. Jeez. While they're not gagging and choking, bicranial crud snorters enjoy swimming, cycling, jazz, and eating gibberellian dust mites. Bjorn. Like from The Hobbit? The Bjorn, a race of half-humanoid, half-kitchen appliance creatures, are the scourge of the known universe. The Bjorn seek out civilizations in order to assimilate them. Oh yeah, one of those. Their collected knowledge of each civilization is then applied to the task of creating newer, shinier kitchen appliances. This is how the Prester Hot Dogger and Daisy Sela meal were invented. The leader of the Bjorn is a toaster-skulled Nacuticles. StarCon has posted a reward for the deactivation of Nacuticles, who may be recognized by a socket just below the interior crush control. This socket typically used to connect Nacuticles to various power sources in order to recharge him and then, through him, the entire Bjorn collective. The great irony is that the Bjorn never spend any time in the kitchen, preferring to send out. They eat a peculiar mixture of batteries, nuts, bolts, and reprocessed organic sludge. Barthenic boulder beaver. The herbivorous boulder beaver is most recognizable for its powerful prehensile tail. Unlike the tails of most beavers, which are strong enough to fling mud, the boulder beaver can use his tail to bench about 340 pounds for 3 sets of 15 reps without even stopping for a fruit-flavored sports beverage. Dang, son, get some. Hence, it can in fact create a dam out of boulders or nearly any other material, including molten steel, lava, and stellar core fragments. The beaver prefers to eat the sweet, spicy leaves of the creepy habanero eucalyptus vine. Replicator, Okay. Let's see. Ernon sea urchin. The Ernon sea urchin is a pitiful little creature and doesn't really care who knows it. It cries constantly, which was only recently discovered since the creature lives underwater. See, it also refuses to play with the other Ernon sea urchins. However, some of its feelings are understandable. After all, it's just about the ugliest sucker on Ernon. Its spiny quills make romance a tedious and impractical affair, and its gonads are highly prized as sushi. This would make you cranky too. Alright, Astrosian sea slugs. The multi-tentacled sea slug is a large, menacing carnivore with a squid-like beak. Its spectacular adaptive abilities and matchless ferocity ensure that it can easily survive for extended periods underwater, on land, or in space. However, due to its numerous disgusting habits and unrestrained lifestyle, the Astrosian sea slug would not hold up for more than 5 minutes under the scrutiny of the liberal media. What? Astrosian sea slugs eat all manner of creatures, particularly aquatic ones. Their favorite food of all, though, is the latex babe of Estros. Oh, so that's the thing that we killed back in Space Quest 4 to save them. Okay, and that just takes us there. F through M. Galanian gutter rats. Galanian gutter rats are so slimy, sniveling, and nasty that they give a bad name to all other gutter rats. But of all their despicable habits, the worst is the fact that they're the lousiest bowlers in the galaxy, hence their name. Not only do they rarely break 100, but they talk loud and cuss when other people are seriously trying to bowl. Their preferred diet is the bowling alley combo: french fries, burgers, hot dogs, and beer. Replicator. It's funny how some of these come with replicator numbers. You want to remember that. Okay, green slime. Half animal, half vegetable, and half lousy mathematician, the green slime of Xenon is a vague byproduct of industrial waste and organic compounds combined with a powerful electric charge. The resulting lifeform is a slow-moving mass of gelatinous acidic protoplasm with simple reflexes and a voracious appetite. This makes it ideally suited to dissolving locks and appearing in bad horror movies. Green slime will eat anything in its path, dissolving it quickly but not painlessly. Bizarrely, it has no such effect on glass, making it ultra convenient to carry around bits of green slime in an ordinary jar, and indeed it was marketed this way under the name Face Begone Hork City. Alright, Grell. At one time many eons ago, Grell were the primary inhabitants of Corona. Oh yeah, we were on that planet in Space Quest 1. Artifacts and ruins have revealed much about them, and they were creatures of immense size, towering some 30 to 40 meters tall. Wow. They're extremely ugly and couldn't bear to look at one another, which is why their race died out entirely. They were hunter-gatherers, preferring hunting-gathering to gathering hunters. Or hunting-gatherers to gathering hunters, I get it. Okay. Coronian tentacular slime sucker. The Corona tentacular slime sucker, which lives deep in the subterranean caverns of Corona, has never been seen by anybody who's lived to provide a complete description. All that has ever been seen are the slimy tentacles, which are tentacle-like and slimy, resembling tentacle-like slimy tentacles. Anything finding its way into these tentacles is first slimed, then devoured. This is an appropriate moment to note that tentacles comes from the root tentacles, since the Andromedan decapus, with its 10 serpentine flexible appendages, tickled its foes to death. That's just another fun fact to know and tell. I doubt that's accurate. But yeah, we actually see that in Space Quest 1. You have to like sort of saddle against the wall because there's the tentacles come through the grate. Alright, let's see. More. Coronian killer mammal. The Cronian killer mammal has an undeservedly fierce reputation, due primarily to its name, or rather, to what its name has become over the course of generations of sloppy pronunciation. Originally known as the lonely and bewildered sandbill, the Cronian killer mammal is a gentle, slow-moving, herbivorous insect. What? That would rather squash itself flat than come into contact with any other life form. Hey, that sounds like me. These tiny introverted creatures are native to the planet Omega Big Deal, the only planet with the distinction of having its entire civilization flunk phonics. The lack of linguistic agility is said to account for the distortion of the sandbill's name, although another theory has been put forth that the killer mammal appellation is merely due to centuries of sarcasm. The Cronian killer mammal eats dust mites. Lots and lots of them. Alright, Coronians. The sentient civilization of Corona consists of the Coronians, a secretive and shy race of scholarly old men. They devote their lives to the pursuit and dissemination of knowledge. Conversations with Coronians are liable to be dry, peppered with obscure and dull references to places and people you've never heard of, and full of self-congratulatory rhetoric. Ah, so they're neckbeards. Most members of Mensa are Coronians. Oh my gosh, really? Most Coronians are vegans and prefer the local flora. However, some Coronians eat their own young, just so they can knowingly say, "Oh yes, I've done that. We taste like chicken." Alright, killer cave beaver. The beaver's eyesight is among the worst in the galaxy, matched only by the giant cataract bear of Pestilon and the blind plummeting mountain goat of Andromeda. Although the cave beaver is herbivorous, it frequently accidentally kills other creatures because up close they all look like tree trunks. It's only after the beaver has chewed its way through the nearest sturdy limb that it discovers the limb is some creature's arm or leg, thus the dams made by the killer cave beaver are quite disgusting. Killer cave beaver's favorite food is clinging girlfriend Ivy. What? Okay. Labian cave squid. The Labian cave squid is a fish-like mammal which has not yet realized that it's a land dweller. Thus it still tends to squirt ink, which just lies ineffectively in a puddle on the ground and gets on the bottoms of your boots. It also uses typical squid-like flexing motions to propel itself, a very inefficient mode of transportation when moving through rocky tunnels. So the Labian cave squid gets a lot of nasty cuts and scrapes as it tries to frog kick its way across the stone floor. This makes it more cranky than ever. The cave squid is also frightened by both humanoids and light since it thinks it's still in the murky depths of the deep Labian swamps. Don't confuse it by approaching it. It will happily crush you rather than be forced to question its reality. I think we actually came across one of these in Space Quest 2. Will also eat you if given the opportunity. Yikes. Jeez, they seem like they were written by Douglas Adams. And we've already seen these. And actually we are out of time. But does the answer to our problems actually lie in S through Z? You just got to find out next time on Let's Play Space Quest 6. Thank you for watching and have a good day.